I will ask my teachers, and I will get back to you. Enjoy. This is going to be our jazz, and we're going to be chit-chatting about the seventh. All right, so the concept behind this is when we're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we're talking about, when you play me a C major scale, Ionian. Yeah. You got it. So here's the gambit. You ready? When we teach music, we talk about it through the eyes of 2 different scales. Hello, how's it?
Doing good.
Come on in. Do you have an instrument?
Not with me, no.
Shoot, you're more than welcome to play anything.
Right on. I think I'm gonna listen in for a minute and see. I'm not sure I can grab these chords like that.
Yeah. Tell you what, if you have a little bit of rhythm with drums, would be total great help as well. Cool. Right on. And then, so the basic idea is when we come together, we talk about this each time. We talk about the circle fifths, and we talk about the 7 notes that are called a diatonic scale. Meaning, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It's called the solo fifth. Most people have heard of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. We are essentially talking about these. When we talk about music, it's easiest to talk about it through the eyes of C major, because C major has no sharps and no flats. So when discussing these tones, these individual pitches, when we put them together as stable notes, let's say the 1, 3, 5, you'll see me do something like this. 1, 3, 5, 1. We're talking about the notes that make up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. It's a full scale. There are notes in between, and we'll talk about this in depth. But the only 2 notes in here that do not have whole steps between them, meaning the shortest distance that is inside the western ear is called the minor second, or the semitone. When you play every single note on every single fret, or on a fretboard which has no frettings, like a violin and cello, you're quite literally, in the western ear, playing the shortest distance between 2 pitches that can vibrate together. When you vibrate 2 pitches, they're called a harmony. When you put 3 of them together, it's called a triad. There are only 5 types of chords, and each week we talk about how you can understand how to play and hear how that sharp 5 really gives some distance and builds tension, so we can start using it in our music. The ones that come in here, can anybody tell me what a C major is? What 3 notes make up the C major? Yes! What makes up a D minor? What are the next 3 notes in series, not starting on the C, but starting on the secondary? You got it? Let's do it together. Ready? D. Absolutely. So when we do this, in my mind, I'm seeing a flat and medium. D, F, and A is way different than D, F sharp and A. Because D, F sharp, A sounds happy. Very sad. That term is called flattening the medians. The third is the median. The root, the subroot, the tonic, the subtonic, the median. We also have a submedian that we'll talk about later. It has its own special place. But everything in here wants to go with these notes. This is the dominant. It holds all the tension in the chord. So when you hear a song in any sort of thing, if we're doing C major, that G, where do we go? We go right back to the tonic. Why? It feels good. 1, 5, 1. Not as cool as 1, 4, 1, which is more like a resolution, an ending of a song. Well, I digress. So when we get into this, we're looking to make triads. If the first triad is C, E, and G, the next triad is D, F, and A, what, pray tell, is our 3rd triad? Line up the 3, skip that 4, say the 5, skip that 6, say the 7. E, G, B. You got it. And what we do is we associate the E, G, and B for being a minor. Why? Because it's not a major. If we sharpen which one? The median, we would have a G sharp, thusly building a triad based off of a major 3rd harmony, the unison between 2 frequencies, unto which when they vibrate each other, they hit at perfect points on the peak and perfect points on the trough, meaning it's a very pleasing frequency to our ears. When we hear the opposite of that, like a we definitely start to hear that minor. All it is now we have a minor harmony and then a major harmony. They're just flippity-flop. So the construction of a major chord, major third, that's a minor second. That's a minor second. So a minor second plus a minor second is a major second? What comes after a major second? Minor third, major third. Remember how there is no step in between E and F? So it's a perfect fourth. Then we have an augmented fourth, perfect fifth, augmented fifth. We've got a sixth. We've got a seventh, augmented seventh. We've got a major seventh, and then a one. So here's the weird part. Going up, they're augmented. Going back the other way, they're called diminished. When you take half step, that minor second, the shortest interval in music thought, at least for the Western ear, when you move upwards, it's called an augmented. Hence, C augmented. D major. All we do is we raise that fifth up to an augmented note. When we play a flat five chord of jazz, include that seventh. C, E flat, G with a flat five would give us a C diminished. And a seventh. Beautiful chords. So what jazz does, it takes every chord that you already know how to play, those triads, and it makes it just easier to play, believe it or not. Can you do me a favor? Can you play me an A minor? I know. Believe it or not, you get to actually just make these chords, you're like, that won't work. But then when you look at the chord, you're like, oh, wow, that chord actually works. Can you play that A minor at the first fret? The basis, when we hear an A at the 12th fret of the second string, we hear an A at the 5th fret, you get the low end. One person pick the high end, one person pick the low end. Does that make sense? Guitar work, excellent. A minor works imitating just the A, C, and E we were talking about. A major, a lot of people play like this. That's our third. So when we drop it down to play this, an A minor 7 quite literally is this. Cool. I like putting my pinky up there for the high G as well. I think it really rings out true. How you know that? You know that the A minor is like A minor 7. Do you play with another great way to view this is like, it's a hard route to say this, but can you play me an A? Or can you play a C? Can you play that right? When I play an A minor, like this, and I wrap that third finger around it and I put my pinky there, it sounds like a minor chord, but the lowest note besides the E is the C. It's called an A minor 7 or a C6. The easiest way to play it is bar the whole 5th fret. You got it. It gives you all the notes you're looking for. In jazz, there's this theory of the half-step movement, which feels like this. You try to put it on the floor, down stroke, slide it up right out. Same thing, you should bring it to the tree or 4 to 5. Which brings us to our first concept in music jazz, the vamp. When jamming, you play a progression. In the key of C, a basic jazz progression would be called a 2, 5, and a 1. What this does is it builds a little tension going from the 2, which is a minor. Can anybody tell me in the key of C major what the minor section is? A 2-5-1 progression, what would it look like? What do you think the chords are? We only have 7 choices. There is no D sharp or C sharp or F flat. It just happens to be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, and do. You got it? So when we're playing these notes, we have a C major, D minor, which I'm going to notate in jazz for you today. If you've never seen this, this is what jazz notation looks like. Any chord which has a minor third, that flat intermediate, will have a dash next to it, a hyphen. We can also see that as being written as maybe like a D like this with a very lowercase m, D minor. If you see a dash right next to it, same diffy. You're talking about a D minor, D, F, A. When we see a chord, regardless of what it is in jazz, the D minor is a minor 2 in the key of C. But if the progression we're playing shows a major 2, that automatically changes that D minor to a D major. There's a reason for this. It's too complex to get in right now, but it's based off of that submeaning. When we're playing relative major and minor, natural minor, you don't have to keep it as 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. You can turn it into a melodic minor, harmonic minor. There are modes that are built off of there. So what we're going to do is talk about just this. 2, 5, 1, my friends. Here's what a chart looks like. If everybody look to a page, if you have any page, the first rhyme will have a double bar. The double bar indicates that this is the beginning of a passage. Passage doesn't have to be the number 1 measure on the piece of paper. However, it does generate a new time signature, or it generates a new key signature. You can have a whole song which is in 1 key, and then it modulates to another key. Some are called direct modulations. Some are called diatonic modulations. That's a whole different thing. It's based on how the cadence gets you from one point of the song to another. So in this 2-5-1, can anybody throw out what that first chord was? You got it. So what I like to do is just write it in the minor. You will notice that jazz players write in chord form. We don't write D minor. Why? Somebody might look at us and go, up a major, or up a major third, and instantaneously, dun, 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 dun. Now we're not in the key of C, we're in the key of D flat. And it all gets changed, and knowing that the next chord having our abstract diminished is very good other. So, the next chord we have, 2-5, what's our 5 chord in the key of C? You see it? Oh, you can do it, ready? 1 for 1. What's the 2 chord? 3 chord? 4 chord? And then what do you do? Is it uppercase or lowercase? No, so you think it's happy or you think it's sad? It is. It was a G major. You got it. So the 2-5-1 is going to be a D minor. It's going to be a G major. And what is our 1 chord? It's our C. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 dots on here because we're going to repeat this forever. Can everybody play a C major chord? Now again, this might be a little much, but our C major, most people play like this. When we play all 6 notes, we still have 3 notes. Lowest note is an E. We have a C. We've got another E. We have an open G. We have a B. And then we have an E. So our B note, when it's closed, makes a C. All of these notes would be C, G then. When we remove this finger and we reveal the B note, we get a super jazzy chord. This is called the C major 7. This isn't a true statement, but it's not a false one. You generally won't see a major 7 used along with a dominant 7. The next chord I'm going to show you. So if you're playing a C, you remove your finger, and then you put your pinky down on the D string at the 3rd fret, you're making that little cute little backwards triangle. Same one that makes a D7, A major 7, B dominant 7, F diminished. All these play there, make our C7. That's how we play a C dominant 7. We call it a C7, right? So the concept of jazz is how do we make this into a jazz progression rather than just the standard progression that has 2, 5, 1, even though that's super jazzy. We just add a 7 to it. What does that look like? We have our 2 chord, it's a minor, that's a 7. We have our 5 as a 7 as well, called 5 dominant. And then later now we need to do our 1 chord as a 7. It doesn't really matter. 7, put it back on and throw down the pinky. You got it. C7. I like to have these look like our D7, and this happens in every key. If it's a D major, well then you move down the D. D major 7. D7. If you do it in G, it's a little weird, but G major, G major 7, G dominant 7. So the focus is, where's your other root note? And how do you move down a half step to the major 7? And then how do you move it down to the minor 7? Cool? Right? It'll get there. It will. Right. You got this, right? Start C7. When we play an F chord, yeah? There's your F. Your F. The best way to explain for the F, if you're having a funky time with it and your hands are huge like yours, what's your thumb on your F? This is counter to what I just told you, by the way. During the roll break. Just play as many notes as this as you can where it feels comfortable, where, yeah, sure, that'll work. Scoop it over the top, there you go, cover off. And then you use these fingers to hit the rest of your note. So you have, no, the next one. And then this finger would play your major third. So, chunky. Boom, bam! And then this finger, try to play both those notes with one finger. Tell me how that feels, Ray. Hard? It should. That's a weird one, but you've got the strength up there with your thumb. Another way to do it is this. When you play an E major. And also, this is a great way to improve strength with your hands. Can everybody play an E major? Put your second finger where your first finger is. Essentially, you're moving that finger right there. Pointer finger right here on the G string. One more. There we go. Move that all the way down. There you go. Boom. And then you're utilizing these other fingers. You know. Wonderful. When you can do this, check out my fingers. Play with one finger, then you move the fingers, so you play the same exact chord. That allows you to move this up a half step. Bar, and then the bar chord, the B-A-double-R-E is what we're really looking for. That's how we start moving this mechanism around the seven. Anywho, if we're playing an F major, we get rid of our pinky. That gives us an F dominant 7. Our lowest note on the first fret. Right on, it's G or F. We're So F, G. G's the 2, but it's also the 9. So if we want to have it to be a sharp, we would take our 9 and sharpen that. What's the next sharp note? G sharp. So if we were to play our F, we put our pinky. And then we take that off. We hold that out for 4 measures. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We get that bass figure in that. And then in one bass player, we'll have the first fret F. Play the first fret on the E. There you go. And then open. That's the bass for this group. Chords are chords, the band's going to play it, but when you go to solo, that sharp 9 is what you want to start playing around as a soloist. We'll talk about that in a little minute. The next chord, can anybody tell me what it is on the sheet? We got it. Does everybody know what a B flat 9 is? There you go. We can do a B flat right here. And again, if we're doing the B, B just happens to have a whole bunch. B flat has 2 flats. B flat, D flat. So when we do this, ready? B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. So what's our 9? You got it, C. So when we have a B flat and we add that C to it, we're quite literally going to be adding this. It's really peachy note. So since we're already here, try this out. Can everybody play a D major? It's our cute little triad chord. Wonderful. When we play the G major, we've got this beautiful little G. If we bar all 3 of those, it's what we were just talking about, how the D major turns into a D major 7. And if we continue to walk that D, C sharp to a C note, so first finger on that B string, the 2nd string, and then add both of our notes above and below. I call it like the bookends. You get a D dominant 7 or a D7. Nice. Everyone just take this shape and go one over and then another one over. If your first finger is now on the D string at the first fret, you achieved it. Here's the rub. All you have to do is use your first finger to cover all of the notes on the first fret except for the high E. And then those 2 fingers plus that covers that, and that makes your... Feel that? There you go. It's just weird pressing down the whole finger. Here's what everybody plays. This is the B7, right? Well, when you lay down your first finger, just like you would cover an A major, most people play like that. Well, if you're thinking those are those notes, well, that's the only weird one. Squish, squish, bang, bang, boom, boom. B flat 9. You got it. Wonderful. And then your intention is to make sure that that note is part of your grouping. Beautiful. Does that make sense? So we got our D major. Yeah, and then our D major 7 just swooshes down the D. And then our D dominant 7 or D7 looks like the backwards triangle. There it is. And then that's our A7, so take that finger and put it right there. Yep, you got it. Right above that one. See how this one's right here and that one's on that one? Perfect. And I'm sorry, I didn't ask to touch you, man. That one goes down right here. That was perfect. And then this one splits 50 because that string has to go through. Okay. That's an A major 7. So if you move it down one more time, it's that B dominant 7. You got it. Now our whole job is to squish these 3 notes right here, like this. Watch my finger. us those two stingy notes. The whole idea is we're looking for that note. That's our flat note. Okay, right on. You got it. Ready? You got your D7 yet? You got it. Perfect. There it is. And then break from the tip top. All there. Now watch this. That finger should be on that string now. There it is. That one over here. There it is. And then that one right here. The whole way you get the flat nine is hidden right there. So you just squish that finger and it covers this note. That's perfect. Now here's the idea. If you've never played this chord before, it's hard to just jump into it. But this is how you practice the practice of practicing. Basis. Can you monotone on that F? I'm sorry, monotone on the B flat. Nice. So here's what it looks like. You build the B7. And you work on hearing that note. And because you are only using 3 fingers, yes, you can take off that first finger, replace the second finger, put the third finger here, and use the same mechanism. So when you move this whole chord up the fretboard, you now can bar, and you get it somewhere else, because all chords are mobile. Does that make sense? So if it was a D major, we would just learn how to play the D major like this, and like this, same notes, different fingers. And then when we move it anywhere, we can bar a fret before, and that becomes our whole structure. It's called the cage system. Cool. So what I'd like to do right now is just make sure we got a leader on the guitar so we can lay it down. So you're laying down that funky rhythm for me. I'm going to count on you. And if you want to, just because these chords are a little weirder, would we like to jump right into this, or would you like to learn some jazzy looking chords, which use everything we just learned? Which is more for basis right now.
Jump in.
Huh?
Jump in.
Jump in. Cool. So, just the F. Yeah. So then Jimmy, more of it up top. That'd be great. And then C9 up top is kind of a weird one for me. I don't like playing it, but it does feel right. Or just right here. You ready? You go. Down, right. So the idea is we have this F dominant 7. We've removed the pinky, right? So F major looks like our E major. Remove the pinky, and then that gets our 11. The next chord we'd be doing would be that B flat with the 9 we were just talking about. And then when it goes up to the C9, it's the same exact chord except you play just the 1 and the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 3, 1, 3, and then use this finger to squish everything else. It's a gorgeous chord. Yes, that's it. You got it? It's a weird one, pointy, pointy, flat. And the whole feeling is 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Cool. So as we aforementioned, jazz can come in many forms. That was a long-winded explanation. Here's what 2-5-1 looks like in the same key. We have a G minor, bass, G minor, D, no that's not right, G, C, F. Cool. Playing a G minor to a C major to an F major. Can anybody tell me how to make those 3 chords into jazz chords?
Not 7.
dominant 7. I aforementioned said you could go to a C major 7. That's super light and airy. So if we remove that middle finger, it gives us this. You got it? So like if we had our C major here, we learned it this way earlier. C major 7, C dominant 7. This little backward shape is the same as that bigger backward shape, but they're all the same notes. Was that a fun one? When I learned that out, I was like, what? Yeah, it works everywhere. Right on? Cool, it'll be in the video here. I'll put it right there. Cool. So the idea is if we're playing a C here, and we move this note down, we would have that same backwards looking triangle thing. You got it? Bar up the whole 3rd fret. There you go. Play your secondary finger on the G string, and then put the 2 notes right around it. You got it? Perfect. And then pinky on the B. Major 7 now. Dominant 7. Cool. So, would somebody like to play the rhythm on that? So we're going to start this with a quick one. Bass player, we're going to be doing this 2-5-1, key of F. We're going to have a G minor, C major, and then an F major. Each one of these we have just talked about. The G minor can be played as a G minor 7 by removing the pinky. The C major can be made into a C7 by removing the middle note and influencing the sound with a B flat note. Then the F, again, we can play the bar chord and remove the pinky. It keeps going over and over and over again. And what we're looking for here is that we're all kind of on the same page as chords, and we're listening to dynamics. Dynamics are how loud one individual in the group can simultaneously. it is, somebody's diddly, 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 the piano player did their turn. You kind of look at the drummer and make sure that they're still playing rhythm. They're not doing whatever. And then you kind of get to the point where you make eye contact, and then you end it. How do we end a jazz tune, especially a 2-5-1? Anybody have any ideas? Like I would stand up, kick the drum set over. No, wouldn't do that. Any ideas?
Back to the 2.
Back to the 2 and end on the 2. Yeah, so if that was the case, we take it from one progression and do that. Or try 2 progressions, and then let's try ending on the G minor. 1, 2, 3, at the G. C7. F major. Here comes G minor, keep going. C7. F major. And everybody play the 1 chord, but stop. Yeah, that's a great way to do it. And then perfect. You end with the jazz like 1 right. Great. Another really interesting way is to do like a quick accelerando. Can everybody do the same progression, end on the G minor, and then do 8 notes that progressively get faster? It's going to look like this. Can you play the 3rd fret? G. And then play 8 notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 while slowly moving up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Right on. It's another great way to end. Rock and roll jazz is just this. It's the idea that like you can speed up or slow down a tape by putting your thumb on the A string. That might not make sense to anybody right now, but it's a great way to see how sound is perceptible. Can we try that? Do 2 more rounds of our 2-5-1, and then jump back into the accelerando ending. We end on the G, so it kind of falls out. 1, 2, 3 on the G. G7. F major. Hold that up. G minor. C7. F. Everybody, when we get to G here, go slow and then build it up. Yeah, absolutely. You will hear that a lot of time on ends where the trumpet or the cornet or something will be like, the whole band will, they just build up the amplitude and back up off. Rock and roll, all the brothers does it. If you want to listen to some cool tapes, check out John Henderson or Gary Burton as far as drums go. Woo-hoo! Gary Burton plays vibraphones and voice stuff about unbelievable jazz. Cool. So that's Watermelon Man in a nutshell. We're just not playing the 2-5-1. We're playing a little groove that happens to be a 1-4-5. Another great jazz groove. So we play our F7 with a sharp 11. That's that first big old bar chord, pinky on the G sharp. Bass. Close enough. And then it just moves up above it. Basses, you got that. Boom, that's the groove. We're going to go through it a couple times. Remember, we've got the B flat to C, B flat to C, B flat to C, and then go, all right, no, C, B, C, B, C, B flat, C, B flat, C, B flat. Hard stop on that B flat, and then drop back down on that F. I'll do my best to sing the saxophone part. If anybody knows it, hum along. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, anybody would like to take a solo, the way we feel about this chord is this. It's a weird thing to play this chord when we do this. As the chord we're playing, you know, all the notes, so you can play that same B flat. You need to still play those. Check it out. First finger here. Covers all those notes right now. Heck, you can even play the whole thing. He called it an 11 chord, and it works perfectly. You got it? You got it? The idea with this chord is when we're doing that, you got that C9 pretty classic standard. I would play just the B and the G string and then the A, but you literally can just all. You got it. I mean, what we're really shooting for is to get that open D in there, but it's not needed. It will be covered by the ear. The reason being, the ear naturally fills in the fifth. If it's not present, the ear will do it anyways. Does that make sense? Kind of. So our C, so yeah, got it. That's it. 1, 3. So 1, 2, 3. That's what our major third looks like, and then all. You betcha. Major third, squish on that third finger. Yeah. And if you want, try just like, here's a weird one. There's no need to lift up the hands. It's just weird to think of it that way. Dun, 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 dun. Making sense? Groovy. So the feeling of that. What we're gonna do is, anybody who is interested in this solo, we're gonna take our third finger and put it on the 4th fret of the B string. Second finger or third finger, but definitely not first finger. There we go. We're going to go back under to our D and slide it up to the 3rd fret twice. Watch my finger at you. Yeah, you got it. And then, let's work with you on this again. And then right above it. And then right back to your one. That's it, that's the feeling. Cool, pinky's great. And then third finger on the D string, slide from the 1 up to it. All the way down here. There you go. And eventually we'll see that this is all pentatonic. It's what we all achieved that, yeah, you got it. It's just, that's where your solo comes from this. It's good seeing you. Love. Cool. So feeling behind it, we got that, here comes our D flat 9. Here's our C 9. And then pull it all the way down to the first fret. Just squish them all. You got it. Down, 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 down. Cool. That solo over the top should be enough to get you going and have a little fun with it. Let's try this group one more time, and then we'll move on to take 5. The reason why we want to do take 5 is take 5 is in a different time signature. It's in 5 rather than 4. The one we're doing right now has a 6/4 or a 12/8 feel. But I'll explain that in a second. Ready?
Still gonna watermelon?
Yeah, watermelon. Water woman. Yeah, here we go. 1, 2, 1 on the F. Look, that's the feeling of it. We have that groove. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did it feel a little bit more confident towards the end? Okay. You know, can't all be winners. However, that one has a lot of complexity to it, and it just builds from there, that foundation. Okay. So the next one I want to do is the take 5. What we're going to do is we're going to demystify this one. In 4/4, the concept is we have 4 beats over 4. We've got 4 quarter notes to fill the stand of 4. So measures, when we're looking at this music, if I didn't move on from the double bar, every time you see a single bar after the double bar, it's just one more measure. So on take 5, that first measure, we have 5/4. So instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The beauty of this is we have that, sorry, what do we keep on? So basses. And it's going to be a little bit weird. E flat is one of the weirdest ones. So close here, this is our E. And we make like this right here, both our E. So that's a B right above the E. So when we play those together, they sound great, right? We're playing E flat. So it doesn't sound very big. We'll walk in for pretty much the whole audience. This one, that one. What we're going to do is we're going to use one finger and each string is going to be like, you're going to go right out of this one. I know that the fingers are very the top. No, twice. So I'm going to show a little thing for the fingers. We all have our charts here. We're not going to spend as much time on this one, but I do want you to see the lead or the lick. It is great for the fingers. You practice it not only at one location, but all of them. Licks for bands that are recorded, like Pearl Jam or Nirvana and stuff like that, those are set in stone. You've got certain, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, those are all just blues licks. Jazz is improvisation. There's a multitude of things that you can do from all of these concepts. So what we're looking for is that we can see how to do something hard, like to play, we can all play a D major, right? D major it up, D minor it up. There we go. Take one finger off, put the other finger where that other finger was, and we're essentially just changing it to a 2, 3, and 4 finger D minor. Same chord. Now it's just harder because we never play like this, right? If we scoot that up, that is our E flat minor. That's exactly what we're playing here. So we would have it's hard as all get out. Learn it and struggle with it for 6 months, 2 months, 2 weeks, or 2 years. Either way, that's one way to do it. And believe it or not, the melody line, doing the, what is it, give me a second. Is so gratifying for the fingers. And it all hovers around here. And you can do the same thing here, which also feels distinguishably good for those fingers in that location. Does that make sense? So you learn it in one quadrant, another quadrant, and another quadrant. And then by doing it in each one, eventually you put the quadrants together, and that's where solo time happens. Fun? Cool. Right on. So let's just play some chords. Can you drop this one for me? You're going to love it. We're going to bar up the whole 6th fret. And play what looks like the E minor. The A minor down here. You got it. So everybody, 1st fret, play A minor. Wonderful. There we go. And then teeter-totter, as I like to say, just switch your fingers from 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Here's what it looks like, both of them. You got it, wonderful. Scoot that all the way up until your middle finger is on the 7th fret and 8th fret for the rest of the fingers. And then use your 1st finger to bar the whole thing. Your bass line is going to be. You got me? So play your A minor. Got it. Shape on the 7th and 8th fret. We'll take the whole thing. You got it? There it is. Then we're going to play the low note, which is the B flat, D flat, and then that whole chord. There's a quick rest idea. At all. Yeah, so play your A minor shape. You got it? And just move the pinky, pinky. And you can choose to keep that there like this. I move my finger up. that groove, when we get used to that groove, that's the whole feel. So can we play that in its entirety? One bass on it, ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, I can't count that. This isn't 5. Crazy. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sounds great, and it's easier to play. Yeah. Nice. You like it though? It's all black keys, isn't it? The only 2 keys in there that aren't black are the E and the B. Proper stretch. Or if you want to do a slide, 1 finger pinky slides are hard for me, but it feels good. If you can get used to doing 1 finger, that's super improper, but if that's your groove, do it. But that's it. Schools of thought. 13, 13, 11, 13, 14, 15, or just there you go. 3rd finger on the A at the 13th. Ready? And then 1st finger. There you go on the 11th. Let it feel good. And by the way, my whole practice teaches this. There's no need to ever stray away from the 4 fingers on where your fingers stay. Everything for this thing are within those 4 finger grasps. Cool? Wonderful. 13, 13, 11, 13, 14. And then pinky, 1st finger's already right there. Oh, yeah. You got this going on, but we could be right here. There you go. And you can even do a slide. That's right. But it'd be redundancy, because those are the same note. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah. Right on. Alright, so let's see if we can get through it one time right up to the B part. This is called a binary song. Form is something that you hear. What we did in Watermelon Man was a progression. It had a B part that was the A. Then we went back to the F part. That's the A section. In this song, take 5, is the A. There's a part where it does something like it's a B part. It's not the A part, but it complements the A part quite well. Cool? The chords we would learn over that, I'm going to show in just a second so it comes together more as a whole. So let's play the intro and see if we can get through it. Yeah? Yeah, I think kind of like a B flat, D flat, E flat, E flat, D flat, D flat. Forgive me, I'm not a drummer. Played in 5 hands. However, this is what these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A section. Now, the beauty of this is it's considered a ternary form. A and B is just binary. It's like having two chapters. One's the verse, the second one's the chorus. That's how we hear all music. Ternary is where you add a C part. C part, jam. That's the jam. The C part does the A part over and over again. It doesn't move from it. Everybody gets a chance to kind of solo. When it heightens its expression, it comes back into the main solo riff. And then ends the tune on the B section. After it gets through there, it goes back into the A section, and then it kind of drifts off. That's how the Brubeck did it on the album. But Brubeck was just covering this tune. So, long story short, we're going to try it one more. Well, Brubeck made it famous. I think I put it at the top. Whenever I do music, I try and give
Paul Desmond.
yeah, it's Paul Desmond. I always try and give credit where credit is due. You'll notice that about a lot of music. There will be different players and different writers on it. So some people were more like songwriters. Some people did both, like background, was able to perform and play and write. Cool. So we have that A section pretty much. Would we like to learn that B section? So the idea is to not be scared by the chords. So when we've got our next chord is going to look like this. A B flat major 7. Here's what a B major would look like, right? If we want to play with the full chord but play the major 7, we would play both of these two notes together and this note up. It's the lower end. Wonderful, but cover both of the D and the G with one finger if you can. Yeah, weird, huh? Yeah. So it'd be like our major chord. Instead of this pinky playing this or relieving it for a 7, we're playing that note. Some people play with one finger. Some people use 2 fingers and wrap a pinky. There's a multitude of ways, but the concept is big old bar, G and D string are what are going to be played together, and then you're playing out. And the first chord that I showed us, like that A minor with the C, is called an A minor 7 or a C6. That's the exact same thing that we're playing right here. It's just weird because now it's in a bar chord.
So we got our bar on the 7.
You got it.
On the 8 there.
And then another great way to express it is this way. Instead of playing here for the B, I love this chord. Isn't it great? Simple. It covers everything you need. The next chord, we're going to play just a simple 4-note bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over the top of the 6th fret. You got it? We're then going to do that at the 4th fret. We're going to go right back up here. This chord again. 6, 7, 8, 9. You got it. If you want, you can play it as this. You can play it as the full minor chord. It looks exactly like your A minor. We're just playing a B flat minor.
Okay, so the progression could be like 4, 6, and then that.
And then the weird one. So I think of my first finger as my leader finger. So it's a 7th fret chord, but I'm using the flat major. Yeah. The only chord is the last time we hit this chord. No, we don't. Hold on. No, we don't. Give me a second. There it is. Oh, B flat 7 for that. It's a B flat Dominant 7. Demystifying jazz, I hope. It's a great tune, it's not so hard. It's and the beauty of it is just changing that weird minor chord to a dominant 7 chord. Those make sense? Last chord, 6th fret, make it into like an E7 type looking deal. Beautiful, and you can even put the pinky up top because it expresses, it expresses the same note value. Or maybe even one more, yeah. It's a great one. Comfortable with the chords? Shoot. I was showing them I use my B flat major 7. When you're ready to get chords, and then B flat minor 7. So here's what the feeling of this is going to look like. If you want to base a slow pace with it, have fun with those notes. By the way, all these chords, you just play the root note. So if you don't know any of the notes on there, feel it out. You can only be a half step off or a half step right. And you're really, this is going to be the right note on this. One step. Great. We're just going to go slow. Real slow. Take out. B part. It's okay. I want to see real quick. Pinky on. it's weird because it's not E major and it's not A major, but now we're playing in B flat and E flat. How very cool. Is that groovy? Plus, what I was saying that for our fingers, it just feels good because you already know what an A minor looks like. So the notes you choose for that solo, they're already chords you know how to play down here. Right? Cool. Right on. We're gonna, you guys want to try this one time with drums to see if we can do it just with the rhythms? Coolness? We'll try that and we'll take a quick break. And the counting that I did was kind of odd. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because our last two notes are 4, 5 and it leads into it, that kind of feeling of boom, boom, bum, bum, boom, boom, bum, bum could be 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that make sense? So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and everybody's going to hit B flat, and then D flat, and then we're all in on the E flat. That make sense? 7, 7, 9, 6, 9, 6, 6, 6, 9, 6, 6. Yeah, so you're going to start out at 6, 9, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. And this 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, B flat, E flat, E flat. Does that make sense? We're all doing the pickup. Can I hear a B flat? Third flat, B. B flat. Yeah, there we go. And then can I hear a D flat? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, bum, bum, bum. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Everybody play a B flat. Everybody play a D flat. And then everybody play E flat. Do that again. Do it again. And again. That's the speed. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Good job. Here comes the B. B flat major 7. Back into 4, 5. Cool? It's all right. Tell you what, take 5 is a hard tune. The fact is, if we go back and you can watch this workshop or watch anybody else on the internet showing you this at least is a great foundation to go, okay, I get it. It's in 5, it's not 4. These are some weird chords. And then I would say learn the bass line as well. It helps keep the whole thing centered together. And then as far as those chords, they don't have to be the actual chords. They can be comp chords. In jazz, there's lots of comping. And I don't want to waste everybody's time on a whole bunch of music hooey nonsense, but all guitar players should know this. When you're playing and you use your first finger to play the D string, let's say we're playing, and I wanted to play my E flat, or my B flat. When we do octaves on these two strings, it's with a 1 and 3. But as soon as we go to the next strings, you use a split of a 4. So in jazz, when you play this note, or this note, like let's say you just played the G G string at the what, 8th fret, you can go up to the 11th fret and hit those octaves. And playing those 2 octave notes sounds ridiculously cool because if you use this finger, it mutes the B string. Use these all the time in jazz by going. And it has this just profound effect on what you hear over the top. Right on. Octaves, when we do an octave, these are our octave notes, right? So try this at the 4th fret. Right. We're gonna play the octave 11. So that one goes to that one, that's an octave, right? Right there. Now that one does it. You got it. So when you put that finger on that note, it doesn't just go to that note, it needs to go to that note. So our first thing, we'll play that same F note, and then play these 2 notes at the same time. So if you're going to play that note, your octave is right there. You betcha. And that note's octave is right there. So watch what the fingers do. So put your first finger on that note. First finger on that note. Right there. That sounds great. That's okay. Finger right there. And then pinky right there. And once again, if it comes right in the middle like that, it's much easier to do these strings. This is something that I use all the time. Like, for example, Village of the Sun. Is it F sharp, F7, sharp 9? The chord over the top that. That's what he's doing. It's just that cool octave sound. It's a lower word and a higher note of the same nature. Cool. Let's take a quick 5-minute break. Smoke it. Give me that. Actually, it's not good. That's cool. Woo! A lot of knowledge, y'all. A lot of knowledge. We had 5 chords here, depending on who was here. We could only split into groups. With the conscious effort, everybody gets through this and understanding of what they're doing. And if not, I'll follow back and go up. Yeah, Friday. 2 Saturdays where it's at. So 4 to 6 on Saturday, the first Friday. First Saturday. If you ever have any question, I got the board over here in the corner. And my number, if you're reading it, not my money. Long story short. So that's the Lord put us up to do this. It's wonderful. We use a lot of the back line. And each workshop is different, as you can see. You know. So don't let them scare you. Even if you're not a singer, come to the choir workshop.
Oh, definitely.
Learn how to hit one note.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll try to come back.
What was your name?
Ishan.
Ishan. Right on. I'm Wega.
Wega. Yes. Nice to meet you. Do you play in town or do you lessons?
I do. I teach here out here 3 days a week.
Okay.
So if you're interested in lessons, that same thing does that. And seriously, the one-on-one for 30 minutes each week for like 2 months.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Blow the brain away.
I'm looking into it right now. Especially jazz. It's like, I feel like when I play jazz, I'm like, oh, it's just like beyond like regular music.
I feel that. Rhythm for me, right, was like playing reggae. Reggae's fun, and then like that led into like reggae turned into like funk. Funk really is the division of the 16th note. 1 eanda, 2 eanda, 3 eanda. And in those workshops, I talk about if you can do like 1 eanda, 2 eanda, then you could do it the accent on a 3. 1 eanda, 2 eanda, 3 eanda, 4. So when you're doing da 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 da, it adds a pulse. What happens if you do it on the and 2 and 3? 1 E and 2 and 3. It gives it. You can explain every single beat through the eyes of 16th notes. That's what the funk one did. jazz and stuff like that. It's exploratory of the 7th. And really what I wanted everybody to walk away from here today was out of our 12 chromatic notes, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, or C, C flat, B flat, A flat, G flat, F flat, E flat, D flat, C flat, and C. Those are 13 of these are octaves. So diatonically, 7 notes. Every key adds a sharp. The first key is G. We always have the note before it. So if we play G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, we get our Ionian note. After that, we go 5 notes, and we add a sharp included. Which one do we add? The one right before our resolution. So when we keep doing that, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, B, D goes to A. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A goes to E. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Once you get all 7 of just the chords for like C major, D major, and you're like, oh yeah, I get it. Something pops. You're like, oh, C major's in the key of C as the 1. It's also in the key of F as the 5, and it's in the key of G as the 4. Which means those chords must have something to do with each other. And lo and behold, when you look at it over a period of time, you're like, absolutely. They're partner chords, or family chords, or buddy chords. So jazz is really big for that. 1, 4, 5, 2, 5, 1. So the cute thing is once you learn the rules, you break them. As we were saying, if you had a minor second, you made it a major second, in the key of C, you would have a D major. A D major doesn't go to the key of C. Therefore, you modulate. It could be instant and jump back, but being able to explain that in a situation with a group, it takes off years sometimes, if not minutes. And I think it's really cool to say, hey, love what you're doing. Try and throw a blank in there. And rather than saying we're going to play 3/4, tonight we're going to try a song which is in 3/2 minuto. And it's this Latin fill of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So learning new ways to play stuff, even if it's horrible in the beginning, it always ends up being something that you hear in your own music. So my encouragement is like once you hear how like we talk about forms now, all music has a form. Some of it's just all A. It's all like wah, 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 wah. A good example would that be like something that doesn't move. Even though Miles Davis, bum, 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 bum. That is all. That's all one thing the whole time. It does the dun, dun, dun. It's a little pause, but there is no alteration to that. So it's an A type. If it did, that would have been just a different section. It would have been different than A. So you could have said, oh, that's binary. That B part is that. Then somebody would argue, no, that's a C section. That's like a bridge or something. Then you would go, agree to disagree. And that's music. But the fact that you have the vocabulary to start explaining what things look like, you go from, oh, all A, binary, ternary, sonata form. What's sonata form? It's every first movement of every classical piece you've ever heard. And when you hear it from that perspective and you go, oh, Tchaikovsky, or that's the A part. And when it branches off in the C part, they're doing the same head that the A part did. Bye, Jax. Doing the same part that there was in the A, but now it's like kind of in a minor. Instead of doing happy and live, it's and then finally at the end of that C section, they do a modulation. They get back to the A part. So you're like, oh yes! It feels emotionally good to hear that A part repeated because why? You like repetition. You like that comfortable nature of music notes. So, right. And it's in everything. It's in rock and roll, rap, R&B, reggae, classical music, everything. Our goal is though that you can hear that so you can start putting it in your own music. I love it. Cool, I'm gonna go check on a dog tank. Or if you guys are sticking around, we're gonna do maybe another song and just jam it. Right on.
This chord here? Yeah. Oh, sorry about that.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm not good. I'm sorry. What was it?
David.
Right on. Very
We
nice.
met once, talked for a moment.
I remember your face.
Right on.
I don't know if I caught your name. If I did, I apologize. Cool. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. I hope this was fun.
Yeah. Just trying to absorb stuff. Yeah, we're like we have a class jam session, so we all are learning. We have from teenagers to 70 in this.
Awesome.
So, but we don't really do jazz, and so that's like another little step. So,
I mean, the idea.
but the concept of
I do like this. I'll do.
yeah, we've been doing a lesson for one. I just learned all this spoken ones.
Yeah, so this, it transcends. If you want to play it in D, you would have E minor, A, and D. If you want to play in E, G, A minor, D major. And then jazz, you just 7 chords. And the same concept holds for all these rock and roll, 97 chord, blues, definitely R&B. This is what I categorize as my 7-chord stuff. And then funk is just fast rock and roll and fast R&B. So doing this, it's double time now. Yeah, and like those are great concepts for people who've never seen this. So I might have some worksheets and stuff.
Yeah, it's starting to coalesce now that like a while.
I'll start a tape these because I like going back to it and see what we did and what we covered and what we didn't. Each year is different. First year we did this, I must have missed a lot of stuff. It's so sporadic and I know I talk fast. So you take away a tenth of what this is, and it's just like, oh yeah, I get that now. It is a layer cake of concepts. Yeah, right on. Cool. Oh, you're sticking around, yeah?
Is that your rig?
I have until 7.
What's your?
Yeah.
What time?
What's your name?
Cool. We're gonna take a 5-minute and then we'll be ready. We need to get some her.
You pick that vendor up here? That amp? Or you got
No, the amp I got the. Actually, I got the amp.
right.
Yeah, I like the little fingers,
Oh, yeah.
That nice one. No, I'll pass that. I got it.
Yeah, no, I went,
Yeah.
I saw it all the time. Yeah. 5 or 6 bills.
It's
Yeah, I know.
nearly the whole team.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one thing that's really good.
For sure.
Then you're a grand.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's a
There's a
lot.
company that's making this. Well, at least
Well, I do a lot of them. Dr. Z, Tura, Santana. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of others that I was thinking of. But they're all based off of Fender, or they're based off of Marshall. You know, it's one of those two. You know? Well, Box and Marshall were really the same vein. As far as the tubes go. I mean, there's a difference in the sound, but the tubes it's England. Yeah. It's what tubes were available. Well, that's what, that's the thing that people, everybody always thinks of that on guitars too. It's like, why so many of them you got mahogany? Because there's a lot of fucking mahogany in the U.S. And that's where most of the guitars are made. They use what's fucking available.
Why you working?
Yeah, so it's the same with the tubes, yeah? Because you can get tubes the same, that'll fit these different ones, probably Russian. But, that's not the standard, that's not standard. So, you see the 606
I'm just using
it's got the modeling. It's got all the modeling.
All right, I don't know if we're going to get to all these. Does anybody have a choice on what they would like to do? Take the A train is the easier of the three because Wave itself and Alice in Wonderland would need a little explanation for their chords. Wave is a little harder than most of the others, so maybe I'll make the decision on that. But would we like to try one called Alice in Wonderland or Take the A Train?
Take the A train.
You got it. The other one is called Alice in Wonderland. It was written by Sammy Fain and it has a gorgeous chorus to it. It's a gorgeous tune. The idea though is if you can look at the chords on the sheet and listen to the music and look at them, and eventually put your fingers on these chords, you don't have to know what an E7 flat 9 is. That process we did up there where I was like, okay, E major has 4 sharps, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D. You don't have to know how to do that. But you can get kind of close. You can go, okay, it's E. I don't know what the sharps and flats are, but I do know that if I go 8 notes away from E, it's E again. So F must be my 9. You play your E, and then you shoot for your F sharp, F natural, and F flat. And one of those is going to be the note you're looking for. And your ear will go, oh, that feels good. Done. Or you'll just be like Savage. You'll just write all those in. So does everybody have sheet music for the Take the A Train?
Yeah.
Wunderbar. Okay. So for this first part, nice. 6. So the first one is a C6. C6, if you remember at the beginning of this, you could just bar the whole 5th fret. That's an A minor 7 or a C6. You got it. You got it. And if you want to, you can play an A minor. This is how I prefer to play it. Play an A minor. And then just add your picking for the C note. You got it. So if you're playing at your 5th fret, at your 5th fret, you got this, you'd have your A minor. That would feel a little bit too large. So if you play the A minor and put down picking. Hear how the bass is the C? Plug down on the A string first, and then through the chord. That's the groove. When it moves up to the D7, we have this D7. And we also have like this D7. So remember the chord that I showed you down here? It's the same chord. Gorgeous. You repeat that twice. You can go to this D minor, but watch how pleasing this is. 1, flat 3, yep, middle finger, play your D, stretch that improperly back to your C. Keep that on the 7th and put the pinky on the repetition. One of my favorite chords ever. So when it does that, then I'll go to G. And then I go G7. Those are all the chords that we just did. I'll post back and see if you're good on it. Bass on this. So we have This should be fun. So watch what's going to happen here. Good. Play your backwards shape. Push that one back. You got it. Wonderful. And then just switch that finger down. And here's our magically awesome chord. Got it. Here it is. And then from the 7. Feels like it balances itself out. The whole idea is it's a weird. I know I made it look easy, but you can see how these two are not moving.
Right.
Cool. You don't have to do that. You could also keep it this simple and have it like. Watch me. D7. D minor or D7. D minor 7 looks like a B flat major or an F. It just has the top 2 notes and then that one. And then it goes to the G7. You got it. So it's all in your pocket. So if you've got but you get on chords. You do the lead. Exhale. Sure. Alternately, you can play the A minor 7 over the C6, and alternately the G7 you can play the what? E minor 6. No, G7. Yeah. Yeah, it turned into a diminished at that point. That's too much music theory. All right, let's try it early one time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor. G major. 7. Again, A minor 6. goes to a quick C7. So it goes to C7, and then it drops to this. We've already learned what the B flat major 7 was. This is the same thing, but it's right here at the first fret. The E is open. Alright? Cool. And then again, you can play it like this, but these two need to be covered. I'm not a fan of that one. It's a hard one. You can also do two pinkies and wrap the pinky. Here's why I don't like it. Because you have to play, but you gotta keep that. It's a little much. That's much easier. So when we go from the C7 to an F major 7, hold the F major 7, hold the F major 7, here comes our D7, here comes our D minor again, G7, and then right back to the A. That's the whole tune. That's another quick and short ending. We want to play, you got this on? You got the progression? Alright, the only way we get better at this is if we have somebody play piano or the drums and we hear it, boom, it's in the full style. Let's try and do this one and then we'll get out of the hair. Oh, you know what? I'm going to play the hi-hat control for this last one. Awesome job as well. Oh, you can take the other music if you want. Whatever you want, please.
Okay.
Aloha. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again with that, we have our C6. now. Does anybody have any dying questions about what we just did?
That was a pretty good breakdown.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The only thing that we didn't really discuss is like the soloing part over the top of it, modally. The concept here behind that, just for guitar style, and I know we already kind of know that, but when we begin, let's say, what key was this then? We had in C6 or A minor 7. So you can use your A minor pentatonic. My whole system for teaching stems off of this. All half steps. This is how we get those fingers become a little bit faster. It turns into speed eventually, but what we're looking for pentatonics is to play the 5, the 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. When we go up here and start with our middle finger, on the C, same note we did on our minor third. And here's how we remember. Watch this. This is part of a pattern that looks like this when you go that way. That note is right here. So what we teach is pattern recognition. Mixolydian has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat, 7, 1. So a quick run on Mixolydian is, it's all the same. If I move that one note, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, it's Ionian. That starts this function. But since we're not going up here, all we have for the pentatonics are the back end of it, and then the front end of it. C major pentatonic is A minor pentatonic. So that's what you're soloing. Or C major all day long. A minor. It's just C major from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We get rid of the notion that we're playing in anything other than C. And then if we were to make it weird, like go C, D, E, F sharp, it becomes something called C-Lydian. We're quite literally taking all of our notes from a scale. And every scale on the fretboard is a combination of open notes combined with the 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, and open. Or we do that same C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, but we start with our 2nd finger, omit the 1st and open frets, and use, again, only 4 frets. Then we get, and then we omit 2, 1, and open, we use only. Every single note on this fretboard for every single song ever written in the Western era that uses this step system, you will see pattern recognition. These are the first pattern. The second pattern, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. And this next one, whole step, half step. And when you put those together, they make up every single note for every single mode. You just shift one out of the way, and then that one becomes part of your new run. Does that make sense? It does. Okay, cool. That is a great explanation in the beginning to see what you work up to. But it starts with pentatonics. And what I try to teach is you don't play pentatonics always from beginning to end. You do something like play around with the notes in there. Hit the notes that are inside of the actual scale because it just helps you know where you're a half step away from. You got it. You're just almost there the whole time. And And that is way overwhelming to say that it's just pattern recognition. You don't need to know any of the names of the notes, but it is really something cool when we're like, A dominant 7 has an A, C sharp, and then a G in it, because we know A has a C sharp, F sharp, and a G sharp. That's A major. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So if you flatten just that G from its major 7, T-do, into its dominant 7, Ta-do, it's still a resolution, just not as powerful as T-do. And those are the concepts of jazz, in a nutshell, using the major 7 and then the minor 7. 6 chords, 11 chords. Right on. Well, thank you for being here. If you have any questions about what we chit-chatted about, get them to us or put them in the video thingy. Right on. Hey, and if you had fun over here, hey, that'd be great too. If you got questions, let's get some Slayer. That's next month. Next month, we got heavy metal. Absolutely. I'll do some Slayer. Yeah. Oh, no, keep that. It's yours. Right on. Aloha, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today.